I believe the recording is in session. Can you imagine? As soon as I start recording, there's noise in the background. This elevator is loud, man. Well, maybe because my ears can hear it, I see it is loud. I don't even think the microphone will pick it up. Yeah, let's try that again. Greetings, everyone. It is I, your one and only multipotentialite, neurodivergent host,
the Cosmic Jedi.
Welcome back to my channel. Let's talk about the
Arcane
season 2, and this will include some spoilers. I'm not even going to talk about it at length. It's just I feel corny saying this, but I'm disappointed. It's a trash season. It's a non-void season. Things just happen for the sake of things happening. It wasn't as spicy as season 1. Season 1 was dope. Yeah. The fight scenes, the slow-mo, the story, the journey we went through, it was beautiful. But season 2 just felt, here we go. I don't even care for the whole story and the franchise itself, because I don't play League of Legends at all. What? That game is not made for people like me. What? And no shade to the game either, because it's obviously a very popular game. A lot of people play it. But when I heard the first time that they were doing an animated series of the game, I thought, how would they pull that off in the first place? How would they make it successful? What would they do to get people who don't even know about the game on board to like the animation, or to like the story, or to like the world at all? But they did a great job in season 1. For someone who never played the game, who I don't even remember seeing any cinematics for the game when they used to advertise it, like when different versions came out. I've never seen any cinematics. I've seen the art though. I've seen some of the art for the game and they are beautiful. But when you see the gameplay compared to the art, I used to think to myself, why would you make the art so detailed? Why are the characters so detailed, looking epic? Like, it's almost like seeing Dante from Devil May Cry and Virgil and all the other characters, but when it comes to the gameplay, it's this bird's eye view of moving ants and whatnot, and you can't see the character's expression, you can't see the animation. It's not as detailed as it is with God of War or Devil May Cry or Ghost of Tsushima or Sekiro or even Onimusha. So again, I know the game is popular. I know a lot of people love it, but I was always baffled as to why the art for each character in the game, and even the drawing or the painting for the world looks beautiful, but the gameplay is just, it's come on. It's like they're two different worlds, but it works. It works for the people who love the game. It works for the people who love that genre, that style of game. Same thing with Diablo. The cinematics for Diablo is woo! Yo, if they did a movie for Diablo, they would kick ass. Well, they did it properly, my bad. If they did it properly. Yeah! So Diablo is the same thing. Beautiful cinematics for the game, or when it comes to the storytelling and whatnot. When it comes to the gameplay, nothing incomparable. Again, for people like me, I'm not saying the game sucks. It's always baffled me as to how they managed to pull that off and got people to fall in love with those games. But yeah, when season 1 came out for Arcane, I was highly impressed and involved. I got fully immersed in the world. I was one of the people who didn't like Jinx. I got the pain she was going through. I got the mental fragmentation, but there was a lot going on. Well, duh. Even Echo, I loved Echo's character. Vi, I think Vi got on my nerves sometimes. I think she always made me feel like Goku. It's like you either take a stance on what you're doing with Jinx and you're either, you know, full on like, yo, I need to stop her, or stop being this wavy in and out character. That's why I like Vegeta when it comes to people who just say, no, we need to put a stop to this person, otherwise it's game over. We're gonna get dealt with. So season 1 as a whole, I enjoyed it. I can't remember too many things from season 1, but I know how I felt when I watched season 1. I was highly impressed. I definitely didn't like Jinx. I understood her pain, but I was like, you know what? I'm one of those people who's like, nah, Jinx is a douchebag.
Damn, son.
I don't like that girl at all, because it's a chain reaction of things that occurred through her decisions. And I get it, the backstory. Again, you have your feelings about Jinx, I have my feelings about Jinx. She was written a particular way to affect people differently, and she affected me a particular way. Here I am expressing said what do you call it, the feelings. So with Jinx, I really didn't care for her character after a while. I was like, yeah, you've done too much and someone needs to shut you down. Or maybe it's, you know, peaceful lobotomy. Damn. You don't have to kill her, but just shutting her down so she doesn't cause so much chaos or further disorder to other people around her and the civilization. Cool. And then the hierarchy of power and then wealth, you know, it's like the Mount Olympus of that world. I can't remember the name of the world, where everyone's in the higher and people are suffering at the bottom. I like that aspect as well. I was hoping they would deal with that in the second season and bring a balance, you know, instead of this rich versus poor theme, or again, I can't remember the full season, but that division between people, rather than bringing everyone together as one, you know, there was further divide. And then this guy who found Vanda and then converted him to a wolf, even all that it felt like it was so much going on. New things just kept popping up. The tech thing, I can't remember the name of the tech, the magic stuff that they were using had its own agenda. Then other characters have their own agenda. Then people unlocking powers they didn't have in season 1, or maybe they hinted in season 1 that I didn't know. And because the fans out there understand the world, I'm coming at this, you know, from the perspective of I'm a noob.
What does that mean?
I've not read anything about the world, and maybe there's a side story out there describing the whole world, different realms, different dimensions and whatnot. Maybe there is, maybe there isn't. Maybe I should have done my research. Yeah. But as a show introducing itself to newcomers as well as OG fans, I would have appreciated where they just took time to just introduce us to certain worlds and not rush us. You know, don't force. Like the Black Rose, I don't even remember the Black Rose being a problem in season 1. Black Rose just showed up in season 2, and I was like, okay, so what's the worry now? Is it Echo's tree dying the main problem? Is it the Arcane? Is the Arcane the main problem? Does the Arcane have its own mind and its own desire to want to corrupt or heal or transform? Like, who am I supposed to focus on? And maybe you don't have to have a big, because I was looking for a big bad, so maybe you don't have to have a big bad in every season or every show. Cool, but whose plight or whose journey am I on? You know, or whose path am I not even supposed to follow, but where do the storytellers want to take me? What journey they want to, because you're telling me about this sister's, I can't remember her name, the melanated sister's mom. You're telling me about her story as well. I didn't even know she had a sibling, and if they mentioned it in season 1, I forgot. Then you're telling me about the Arcane thing. Then you tell me about Echo's world with the tree, you know, losing its petals. Then you've got the small, you know, really Yoda-looking guy with a mustache and whatnot. It's just too much. Then you got the guy with the axe as well, the hammer. Then you got Victor. Then you have, they had 2 new recruits who joined, or 3. One drunk guy on the road who I don't remember from season 1. The green guy, and then the ginger head chick with the freckles. I disliked this season so much. There was one scene that I just laughed at it. Like it felt insulting. Like if you were to put the scene in real life, maybe some people would argue in real life that's something people did during that time period. There was a siege going on, a major battle going on. Vi had been locked in the dungeon that Jinx was once locked in, because Vi came to free her, and then Jinx did I don't know, she tricked her, and Vi ended up getting locked in the cell. Jinx takes the keys away, and she does this weird, odd monologue that didn't make any dialogue sense.
Does not compute.
And then time passes, then Vi's girlfriend comes in, opens the door, and then they make out. And then they're kissing. So I was like, okay, well, if this was a male and a female, would I have a problem with it as well?
Too damn bad!
But you're reminding us with noise outside that there's a siege going on. The show reminded us that this is a do or die. Yeah. Especially with Jace coming back from whatever dimension, and even that wasn't explained how he traveled. I mean, not how, which time he traveled to. Just so much.
That is it for us today.
Too much just going on, man. So I didn't even know what to focus on. So I was just watching things and screen like, okay, you know what? Just get it over with so I can say I've watched the show, done with the season. I'm not looking forward to no season 3.
Damn, son.
Or no side quests or side spin-offs. I don't care. I cared about the show in season 1, especially for someone who didn't care about the League of Legends world. But I get it that they want to introduce different aspects of that game or that realm or story into Netflix, you know, with different spin-offs, and that's fine. Who the hell am I to say they shouldn't do it? But what I'm expressing is my excitement and joy for it is 0, or is -0.
Let me hear yeah!
They definitely took a while to release season 2, but I was excited for season 2. So the first 2 episodes of season 2, it felt like they did a massive time jump and didn't explain the time jump. But you know, it is what it is. Some people like that creative style of telling stories without having to be too direct or too obvious or too plain. Fine. But that scene where Vi and her girlfriend were making out, it was completely confusing. I thought it was just gonna be a kiss, I love you, and then switch the scene to the fights, get your armor up, suit up, and then go into the battle. Instead, it was a full-on, like both got naked and yo, salad was being tossed.
Damn.
Licks were being licked.
Damn.
I was so confused. I'm like, dude, there are people literally dying upstairs. So this is why I said earlier on, maybe this is something that's happened before in our reality, where there's a big battle going on, a husband and wife get it on, wife and wife get it on, or husband and husband get it on before the battle or during the battle.
Does not compute.
And I assume those who survive also get it on after the battle. But as it's going on, just I think in your quarters it's different. But when you're locked up by your sister, when you intended to save her and she tricks you and locks you in the same cage you came to free her from, then your girlfriend comes to find you in the same cage, opens the cage, does another dialogue, I knew I'd find you here, yada yada yada. Then they're kissing and smooching. Whilst all that stuff is going on, it just feels like it's a wrong, unnatural environment to get it on there.
That boy is good.
Kissing, smooching, I love you, let's suit up, let's arm up and go and save our town or save our city or our civilization and stop Victor from terraforming us into non-humans or whatever. Fine. But in a cell, it's tacky.
I like this one.
Completely tacky in a cell.
Damn, son.
If I try to help my friend or brother out and my brother tricks me and locks me up in a cage, then my wife comes to free me from that cage. There's no way out. We're kissing. But in a way, we're both getting naked whilst it's a siege going on. I'll feel so uncomfortable. You want me to have sex with you in this cage? The cage my brother just tricked me and locked me inside. I feel it's weird.
You ain't lying.
I came to free him and he dupes me and then locks me in here. Then you come to unlock. Oh, it's not even it's a mood destroyer, not even a mood changer or mood killer. It's a mood destroyer or mood annihilator. There's no way. There's no way I'm making love in that cage, in that cell. It's so uncomfortable. On top of that, whilst people are dying around upstairs, nah. I don't know what creative direction that was. Like I said, maybe that's actually happened in real life in different civilizations with different peoples. Cool, but I exist. So the same way I exist, the other people who wouldn't agree with that scene or agree with that scenario if that was a real life thing. I came to free someone from a cage. They trick me, lock me in said cage. Then my partner comes to free me from said cage. We're both inside the cage having a talk whilst the siege is going on. And then we're going to have sex inside the cage? Nah.
Does not compute. Does not compute. Does not compute.
Some of y'all, your moods is fire, boy. Me, I like my environment spicy.
Woo!
It ain't got to be on a beach or hotel, but clean and with some life. There's never been a time in my mind where I thought to myself, you know what? I have fantasies of where I'd like to have intercourse. Yeah, a prison cell will be dope. No, for what reason?
Don't ask questions.
And no, what I want to attract someone who'd be like, you know, out of all the typical places everyone says they want to have a fantasy love-making session with their partners, no one ever talks about prison. Prison cell is one of the hardest. No.
Don't ask questions.
Especially under the circumstance of when I came to free someone and said someone dupes me and locks me in said cage. How would that inspire my mood? There's no mood there. It's embarrassing that my partner came to find me. And fair enough, we love each other, cool. You know, I'll be like, yes, you're right. You knew she was going to lock me in here or he was going to lock me in here. Fine, let's get out and go and armor up. Done, scene over. But instead, full on intercourse.
Yeah, that brother's starving.
Like full session. I can't do that. You just completely turned me off. And I thought, yeah, you're not even being serious about the show. You're not even being serious about your story. Again, one last time, I imagine that kind of scenario probably happened in real life during real world battles in our past as human beings.
Come on, don't bullshit me.
Not every warrior or warrioress would agree with that scenario. Be it whether it's a woman on woman, or man on man, or man on woman, or whatever term you identify with. Not everyone would say, yeah, if I was in her shoes, I'll do the exact same thing. Because I definitely would not. I would I'd be like, yo, appreciate you coming to free me. Yes, you're right. Let's suit up. And so I removed this session from my mind because we need to even fight for our lives. I don't know what Victor's coming to do here. I don't know if he's going to kill us. And if he transforms us, we're all going to be under his one. He's practically playing demigod. He's trying to be some form of a demigod. And he's saying, oh, if we all come under one umbrella, even that's a little irritating. Like, dude, if you're saying remove poverty, remove fear, fine. But you're trying to control or just trying to not control. What's this word?
A few moments later.
One mind symbiosis with all of us. You haven't even asked permission. You're just like, yo, you know what? You guys are bickering too much. Yada yada yada. If you're trying to bring balance between two different peoples or two different groups or two different factions, so no more rich and poor, everyone is one. Cool. Have a conversation. Deal with resource issues. Deal with financial issues. Deal with it differently. Not just let me just meld all your minds. And even if he said, let's do it temporarily whilst I fix up the environment and there's no more underground. Or how about if people want to live underground and they're happy where they are?
Get this man a shield.
They're satisfied. They're at peace. As long as people stop looking for trouble, stop looking for our trouble from up above, everyone's gravy. Some people like to be where the sun is at. Some people like to be where the shade is at. Some people don't like the heat. They like it in cool areas. So just basically saying, instead of everyone being forced or pulled from wherever that lower underground realm is in that city to the top, have a full discussion. Where do y'all want to be? I like me to have a 2-bedroom spot over there. I like to have a 3-bedroom spot over there. You know what? I'm cool where we at downstairs. Just don't come give us headache. Yeah. So find some middle ground where everyone lives peacefully. It's doable, absolutely doable. But Victor was pulling this whole Thanos thing where it's like, this is the only decision in the world. And if I snap my fingers and I'll just control everyone and everyone be at peace and there's no more war. And you're trans or terraforming or transmutating people's vessels from the organic form into something else. Dude, it's not even creepy. It's wrong, it's disrespectful, and it's rude.
Nice.
Because I don't remember them making it a choice thing. Like he would have said, maybe I'll ask people, do you want to? What does it look like? Let me give you a mental vision of what it looks like, so you can see it in your head before you test it out. And even if I join and say, okay, let me join your league or whatever it is, Victor. Can I opt out after? Is there a time where I'd be like, I've been here for 10 years. I've got no stress, no want, no lust, no desire. I'm in sync with nature. I'm in harmony with myself and others. I'm cool. I think I've grown enough now. So let me detach from this thing you got me under. Can you retransform my body back to what it was before I became this white metal looking thing? Nothing. That would have been a nice discussion to have, and have it at length. Or have people saying, you know what? I see what dude is doing. I see what Victor is doing. I would like to join.
Does not compute.
And then maybe have those people have their own discussions and let Victor just chill. And after that, let Victor be like, you know what? I'm gonna just take the group of people who want to be in this new utopia I'm creating, and then come over, just like Moses. Come over here. I got a spot over there we just picked out for all of us. And then we have an agreement where you don't come and bother us. But if you want to join, you can come and join. But there's no war. Don't come and threaten. And Victor wouldn't allow no one wake up one day and glitch and then come out of that, utopia or sanctum sanctorium to come and look for trouble in the city.
That boy is good.
That's how I feel I would have written the story. But what do I know? I don't own no Arcane or League of Legends. What a shite season. Crap.
Are you not entertained?
Most annoying season of a show I've watched so far. Let me think. So far. And that lovemaking scene was so baffling. People they are bleeding upstairs and they're dying.
He ain't lying.
You are being lick the kitty.
What does that mean?
It sucks, man. I don't care what season comes out. They can throw in the best trailers, the new animation style, and there was so much slow-mo in this season during the fight scenes. I was confused. There were some points I was like, yo, that person should have been dead by now. Yeah. They did a lot of yo-yo things, like with my emotions. Will this happen? It might happen. It may happen. It won't happen. It didn't happen. It's like, so where are you going with your story? Do you want to resolve, or you just want to do a roller coaster ride with every character?
Well, duh.
Pointless, man. Pointless. I thought Vander was gonna die once and for all. At some point, he did some over-the-top things, and I know the show is a little over the top, but it was too much. The time travel thing confused me as well. The little mustache guy, whatever his name is, Yoda-looking dude, ended up in one reality, stayed there for a while. There was no indication on the screen. 5 years later, 5 years before, something. Then Echo ended up there too. Even he confused me as well. Man, whatever, man. Anyway, I'm done. I don't want to make this thing 40 minutes long, ranting about this stupid, useless show. Damn! Season 1 was beautiful. You guys just came here and just messed it up in season 2.
Woo, I'm about to make a name for myself here.
My opinion, for me. Some of you love the show. Gravy, baby, gravy. I did not like this season at all. At all.
Damn, son.
Anyway, my brother and I are currently watching Gangs of London, and I said, dude, I'd rather watch Arcane and finish this dead season so we can really pay attention and focus on Gangs of London. As a whole full story, as a show, it's good so far. I mean, he suggested it to me and I was like, I don't want to sit down and watch. I'm very particular with my shows, man. Very, very particular, especially with what I watch, not even just shows, but movies and cartoons, because it's going to my psyche. So I don't want to watch something that's going to irritate my psyche or low-key, you know, plant some weird seeds in my subconscious. As soon as I watched episode 1, that was, you know, even the fight choreography in episode 1 in the show itself. Woo wee! That's a beautiful show so far.
He ain't lying.
I mean, there are little issues here and there. Some things aren't, you know, they're over the top, not realistic. Some things are very realistic. But like the whole power play or false idea of power play, the whole behind the scenes, you think politics is like this, but this is how politics really is. All that stuff I'm enjoying so far. Yeah. It's a good show, and I'm glad I'm watching that one. I'm glad we're finished with Arcane. I didn't want to finish Gangs of London and then have to sit down and go through Arcane season 2. No, I was like, dude, we need to kill this show first because at least it's like 45 minutes or 35 minutes long. Then focus on Gangs of London, which is like 55 minutes long each episode.
Are you not entertained?
So let a brother know who's watching Arcane or who's watched Arcane season 1 and 2. Which season did you like the most? Which did you like both of them? Did you prefer 1 over 2, 2 over 1? Are you a fan of the games? Are you a fan of the lore? Are you reading the lore but don't play the game? Like, do you know the lore very well but haven't played the game whatsoever? Are you going to play the game eventually? Did the show entice you to even want to play the game? Me? Mba. There are games that I play and there are games that I don't play. That's definitely one of them. I don't care how good the show is or if you introduce a new, I don't know, realm of storytelling for your game. The game itself is just, it's not a game I can play.
Damn, son.
At all. It doesn't matter how awesome the animation looks or the art style looks. I cannot play those games. It is so baffling how people love it.
What does that mean?
Anyways, I have been your one and only multipotentialite, neurodivergent host,
the Cosmic Jedi, signing out. Thank you for watching.
Oh, the misery.
Everyone wants to be
your enemy. Yes.